Hi, I'm Leo. Today we are going to answer the most common question you guys have been asking. How do Chinese people type Chinese? Do you have a huge keyboard? I'll say the answer first. No, we do not have a keyboard with 10,000 buttons. I checked. This is my keyboard. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the 4 common methods Chinese people use to type, how computers predict what we want, and the small price we pay for this convenience. Let's begin. First, the big problem is that Chinese is not alphabet-based. It's meaning-based, which is beautiful for humans, terrible for computers. In English, typing is simple. You hear a word, spell it, done. In Chinese, one sound can be different characters, and one character can have different sounds. Then the core problem is how do you turn sounds into the right characters you want? The answer is surprisingly simple. We type and choose. Let me introduce Pinyin Input. Pinyin Input is the most common way we type. Yeah, the same pinyin system you use to learn Chinese pronunciation. Chinese people use it too. Here are the steps. Step 1, you type the sound using pinyin letters. For example, you want to type the word you, 你. You press 2 letters, N and I. That's it. No tones, no accents, no fluff. Just 你. Step 2, the computer shows you options. Because this syllable, 你 could be 你 girl's name, 你 mud, 你 you, 你 greasy, and about 100 other characters you didn't ask for and don't want to meet again. The computer puts them in a list. Step 3, you choose the right one. And boom, character appears. That's how most Chinese people type. No secret keyboard, just letters. I'll type a longer sentence as an example. My little dog says hello. 我的小狗说你好. Nice and simple, just like that. I know, now you must be questioning, wait, what about tones? Good question. Very good question. Chinese has tones. Everyone knows that. So why don't we type them? Because context is everything. Let's say you type 我爱你. The computer almost always gives you 我爱你, I love you. It does not give you 我爱你, which would be grab sad mud. Modern input systems are very smart. They use word frequency, grammar patterns, and full sentence prediction. Sometimes they understand you better than you understand yourself. You type half a sentence, they finish it. You feel seen, slightly uncomfortable. Okay, now let's introduce another method we use to type other than pinyin input. Method 2, handwriting input. On phones and tablets, many people don't type at all, like my mom. She says her fingers always touches the wrong button on a keyboard, so she decided to not use the keyboard. These people, they draw the character with a finger on glass. You forget how to pronounce a character? No problem. You remember what it looks like? Draw something close enough. The system will politely guess, offer about 5 to 10 options, and pretend your drawing was acceptable. Handwriting input is especially loved by older people, especially those born before 1960s. They grew up before pinyin was a thing. They speak Chinese perfectly, they read characters just fine, but asking them to type 啊我一无语 is just emotional abuse. There's also another group, people whose fingers are not very cooperative, like my mom. They try to type pinyin, but always end up typing something they didn't mean to. At some point, you stop fighting technology. You just draw the character and move on with your life. And then there's a very special situation. I believe this one happens to every Chinese person. You see a character, you recognize it, you can guess what it means in context, but you have no idea how to pronounce it. You don't want to open a dictionary. You try to guess the pinyin, but no success. So, what do? You copy it, stroke by stroke, like tracing a picture. You draw the character into the phone. The phone says, this one. And suddenly you know how to read it. No dictionary needed. Just cheat with modern technology. Here's another typing method that is more hardcore and less common. Shape-based input. This is not for beginners. This is for people who enjoy suffering efficiently. For example, Wubi input. I will introduce it very quickly. Wubi breaks Chinese characters into small components called radicals, basically like Lego pieces, and maps each one to a key on the keyboard. So instead of typing pronunciation, you type the structure of the character. For example, you look at a character, break it into parts in your head, type those parts in order, and the character appears. This method has some pros and cons. The pros are, it's extremely fast, very accurate, and loved by professional typists. But it's very, very hard to learn. If typing Chinese is like riding a bike, typing Pinyin is riding with training wheels. Typing Wubi is building the bike from metal first. Respect. Okay, now let's introduce the last method, voice input. You say, 明天我不想去上班. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. The phone types it perfectly. Then you continue, 我想把老板打一顿. I want to give my boss a punch. The phone still types it perfectly. Adds punctuation. Keeps a calm, professional tone. Voice input works very well in Chinese because syllables are clear and usually context is very strong. The downside is, not everything you want to say is meant to be said out loud, which means voice input is very efficient, but not always socially appropriate. Alright, that are the methods we use for typing. So, with all these fast and easy ways to type, something interesting starts to happen. Now let's talk about the side effects of typing. Typing is easy. Too easy. Many native speakers today can read anything, can type very fast, but struggle to write characters by hand. This has a name, character amnesia. You see a character, you know it, you understand it, you use it every day, then someone gives you a pen. Your brain says, I know this. I just don't know how I know this. That's why schools still insist on handwriting practice. Not because they hate kids, but because hands also need memories. So, how do Chinese people type? Let's summarize quickly. Chinese people type by using pinyin to represent sounds, letting context choose characters. Sometimes we draw characters when necessary. Sometimes we talk when feeling lazy. There's no special keyboard. Once you understand the system, it's logical and efficient. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Leo. See you next time. Bye for now.